This video is going to be about guitars, music, musicians. This video is going to be about rifles, marksmen, competitions. It's going to be about all of those things, but it's going to be about none of those things as well. If you want to hear more about that crazy idea, stay tuned for more. So, I'm not quite sure how to start this, but I've got this idea in the brain. I'm gonna shoot it out there. So what it is, what kind of a person is a gun owner? What kind of a person goes out and actually practices the art of musketry, pistol, shotgun, rifle? You know, it doesn't matter what the discipline is. What is it about that drives a person to go out and practice and practice and practice till they get their personal skills and drills down to the point where they become very, very effective and very good. And then once they kind of get that comfort level established, personal confidence, they go out and they test themselves. And they test themselves by attending shooting competitions. All right, now you're able to kind of, okay, this is where my skill level is here. At this, down here, maybe you're near the bottom of the curve, as per se. Maybe you're a third of the way up. Maybe you're even higher than that. Unless you can actually benchmark yourself against other human beings that are also interested in that discipline, until you're able to do that, you really don't know on the threshold of skill where you stand. And if you want to invest yourself further into a point of interest or a subject of interest or a discipline of interest, until you measure yourself against other people, you don't know whether you're doing it well or not. And so it's a process of elimination and education as to what you're doing, how can you do it better, efficiency of motion, all these different kinds of things as it applies to the skill of musketry. You probably saw that there was a rifle on the table here. And this SMLE was made in 1953 in India. It's got bumps and bruises and all kinds of things on it from its service with the Indian Army. And I'm going to keep all those bumps and bruises on this rifle. Lots of people would try to sand them out because they're imperfections. Well, imperfections are what makes this rifle what it is and why it's special. We're talking about the opposite of imperfections, or maybe identifying your own personal imperfections and trying to sand them out. I mean, we're talking about, for example, let's talk about musicians just a little bit and kind of compare it to people who enjoy shooting. For example, is that musicians employ, I mean, they have music that you've probably recognized this. Okay, so I mean, you may recognize that, you may not. That's okay. But did I play it well enough where you could kind of get the idea of it? Right, I know that I have some personal development. I mean, I want to bring this thing out and play it more because I want to develop what I had begun many, many years ago and it kind of just set aside and forgot about, which is my music. And it's nice to bring it out and start playing it every once in a while because it kind of reminds me of what I used to hold high and what I found important in life. when I was much younger. And I used to do it way better then than I can now. I would like to reinvest myself into that part of my life and make this better. But what is it about a musician that makes them want to go out and play in front of a crowd of people? Why do they want to do that? That's so much stress. They want to get together with a bass player, with a guitar player, with a drummer, maybe a guy playing rhythm, and have some fun. I mean, they build confidence, they build a rapport as a band, they build relationships, they support one another, and then they get good enough where they can actually go out and play a few gigs in front of people. And that in and of itself is a mind-expanding experience, because when you've got a crowd of people in front of you, your fingers start to get bad. You start to get hyperventilate a little bit. You're nervous. Well, you've got stress coming at you from all different angles. Why? Because you've stepped outside of your comfort zone, and now you're being measured by other people as to how good your musicianship is. And if you're tight and you're good, you're practiced, that modicum of stress that a musician puts himself or herself under will make them better in the long run, and they know that. And so they purposefully put themselves out there into uncomfortable situations, because it is the more you risk, the more you have to learn, stepping outside of your comfort zone. So, in many ways, I kind of put marksmen, markswomen, markspersons, musicians into a similar category, because they're doing it for the same reasons. Plus, there's a certain element of creativity and artistic nature when it comes to musicians and marksmanship as well. The getting inside of your personal bubble, the kind of the mental aspects of marksmanship, which are hugely important, and be able to hit your target at exceedingly long distances. Now also put yourself in a military shooting competition, for example, where you've got 20 people to your left, 20 people to your right, and you're going to do a 500-meter rundown on a military range. 5 rounds, 5 rounds, 5 rounds, 5 rounds, and 5 rounds. A total of 20 rounds. Was that right? It was 10 rounds at each. Anyway, it's been a long time since I did a 500-meter rundown. I like to do it again before I kick the bucket. But it takes discipline. It takes concentration. If you're distracted by the 20 people on your left and the 20 people on your right, and you're running in between every 100 meters to the next mound, shooting that course of fire, running another 100 meters to the next mound, you've got people on either side of you. Everybody's running. You have to do it safely. You're loaded and ready with the safety on, and you're running those distances. All right. So it's, to me, that is almost the pinnacle. If you can do that well, your physical fitness and your investment into your craft is of such a high degree where you can win matches like that, man, you're probably one of those people that I'd like to get to know better. Musicianship is the same way. Now, I'd like to also take that kind of dedication to your personal investment in knowledge and comfort, development, and apply that to everything else in your life. Apply it to your understanding of politics and what's happening in your country. Right? Study that. Become an expert in that field. Because if you don't, it'll turn around and bite you. If you don't know how to vote, or you don't know why you're voting, or if you're voting only because your friends say that it's popular for you to vote this way, and you can remain a member of their club if you vote their way, then you should be asking yourself questions as to why. Personal mastery. It takes years and years and years. And it can be applied to any field of knowledge: medical, forestry, engineering, digging ditches. Be the best that you can be at everything you do. Hope you guys are doing great. Ralph True signing off, and Maple Leaf up.